Hello, everyone. Hello, my sister. Can you hear me? Hold on, let me turn up because I can't hear anything. Hold on. Can you hear me? I
I
can't
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Okay,
Can
got
you
you. I
hear
can
me?
hear you now. Yes, I got you.
Okay.
All right. We're ready to get started. The interlude is playing right now. Hope they can hear
Okay.
it.
They can hear me too?
Yes.
Oh gosh. Okay. Do I have to have my picture showing?
No, no, no. No, no, no.
Okay.
No.
Not me trying to fix my hair on screen.
Let's see. I hope they can hear that what I just read. All right. Okay, let's get started. Let's turn this off.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Woo! Hope y'all like that intro. Did y'all get a chance to see the intro that I put in there that I worked hard on? Welcome in, everybody. This is Juanita. My name is Juanita Adote. I am the CEO of the Around Table Talk. So as y'all come in, say hello, say hi, say how y'all doing, what's up, what's going on, all that good stuff. And can you do us a favor when you come in? Please hit that like. Let me put it on my comments so I can see everybody. Please hit that like button. Please share this video because we're going to get into some things. And just to let you know, I am live on my main page here. Excuse me, I'm live here, and I'm also live on YouTube, my main page, Juanita Living Life Unapologetically, and I'm also live on the Around Table page on YouTube. And I can see me over here. So we're doing some good things here. So please excuse me if you see me turn. Hello, darling. If you see me turn my head, hello, Vanessa. Please excuse me because I'm working on a few gadgets here. I'm acting like I know what I'm doing around here, but I'm gonna try. Okay, I got three things going on over here. So welcome in, everybody. Hey, hey, marriage data. How everybody doing? Please show the love and hit that share button to let everyone know that we're here because we have an amazing woman on tonight who doing amazing things. And on this channel, we like to share, show the love, shine the light, and get things out there into the community. And so we have our sister here. So I'm going to pull back and I'm allow her to go ahead and get started, introduce herself on what is going on. Hi, Eddie. Hi, son-in-law. How are you? Hey, everybody's coming in here. Hey, everybody on YouTube. Everybody on Facebook. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. Any comments, please share those comments. If you have any questions, please also do that. as well. Okay, so I'm going to pull back. I'm gonna put my mic. Thank you. I'm gonna put my mic on mute so you can start, my sister. Have your way. Take your time.
Hi, everyone. First and foremost, thank you, Juanita, for having me on Table Talk. My name is Sade, everyone. I'm a community activist, a teacher's assistant, a mother, and an advocate. Juanita asked me to come on the show tonight to speak about local elections. I am running for the school board. I am a school board candidate right now. I'm running for 2024. So every year there's a school board election, and every candidate, if they get elected on, they have 4 years to sit on the board. So depending on when you get on, every year, depending on if, when you got on, your seat may be up. So this year, I think we have 6 seats that are up and six. I'm sorry, I said four, but we have six. We have 6 seats that are up. I put four fingers up, but we do have 6 seats that are up, and I'm running, hopefully, to get in one of those seats. Um, I just want to shine some light on local elections because, and I'm nervous, so please forgive me, but I always just want to be authentic when I'm speaking and be transparent when I'm speaking to give as much information as I can and to connect with the audience as much as I can. So this year, I ran last year. I didn't get on, but I was very new to this. It was my first time running. I felt that there needed to be a change. I felt that some things weren't right within the school district. So the only way that we can make things right, we can complain all day, we can post on Facebook all day, we can talk about the people that we have in these elected seats all day. But if we don't run to get in those seats to start making a change, then our voices is not heard. If we don't go out and vote, a lot of people say, oh, well, why do I vote? Because my voice is never heard. Just because who you voted for doesn't win doesn't mean that your voice was not heard. That just means the other candidate got more votes. But your voice is definitely heard. And the way to keep it heard is to keep voting and to keep putting your voice out there. And the school board elections is one of the ones that kind of get swept under the rug. We have the presidential election, which everybody would say that's the most important, but I would like to challenge that narrative and say that your local elections are kind of the most important because your local elections is what governs your city. That your local elections is what it controls the policing in your city. The transportation in your city, the schooling in your city, the healthcare in your city or in your county. So your locals election is really where it's at. So a lot of people, they just vote on the presidential election and they just forget about the local election. And I can say that I am guilty of that. I have done that in the past, but once I realized how much the local elections meant, I started voting for those local elections. What made me interested in voting in the school board, because I didn't even know there was a school board election every year. I didn't even know there was people that sit on a board that govern, the policies and that put in these policies that may affect our children, whether it's in a negative way or in a positive way. I didn't even know there was a board that sat up there and did that. And I'm sure if I didn't know, I know, I'm pretty sure others didn't know, and it's not something to be ashamed of. It's just that when we learn and we know better, we do better. So the way that I found out about these school board elections is my son, he started having some problems around, I think maybe pre-K, and I'm a teacher's assistant, so I've worked with developmentally disabled. I've worked with general education. So I was able to see those things before he even entered school. But again, he entered school during COVID, when COVID was just getting over. So when COVID got over, school started back on hybrid. They had 3 days on and 2 days off. So a lot of the kids that entered the pre-K, kindergarten, first grade stage, they did not really have that opportunity to learn any social skills because they weren't able to because we were on lockdown for so long. So all they were playing with was themselves or their siblings. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why that is. Marriage data posted the question, why is that? Why do people vote on presidential elections and not local? I'm not sure. And I'm hoping that this video would just encourage more people to get out and vote on local elections. Because again, local elections is what governs our city. And yeah, my son started having problems, and again, because I'm a TA, I kind of started seeing those things. But his kindergarten teacher, his pre-K teacher, was the absolute best. It also helps to know who's over your children in each classroom. You need to be involved in your children's education. You need to be meeting with those teachers. I meet with my son's teachers every teachers conference. I go to every event that the school holds. There's an app. I use an app called Class Dojo, but some other schools may have other apps depending, I guess, maybe depending on the district that you're in or what may have you. But I know Newburgh uses Class Dojo. So I have that app, and when I tell you I check it like I check my Facebook, them notifications come on and I'm clicking on to see what's going on. And my son also knows what's going on. He comes home and tells me if there's an event that night. So them teachers know my face, they know who I am. And it's important for them to know, because if they can understand the child and the home that the child comes from, they can understand that child better. You know what I'm saying? So if the child is having any issues in class, they can, I come from a generation or a culture where what goes on in my house stays in my house. And I feel like that can be true to a certain extent, but it can also be damaging to a certain extent, because if something traumatic is going on inside the house and the kid isn't saying anything because he's been taught, don't tell my business, but he's acting out, or he or she is acting out, the teacher would never know. So then they're just labeling the kid as having negative behaviors or outbursts, and no one knows why. So that wasn't going on in my household. But around this time when my son started having issues, and I would be getting calls, I would explain to the pre-K teacher this is what I thought was going on. But he was so good with my son, and he was saying, no, Miss Burks, let me work with him a little more. I mean, this teacher was good. He said, let me work with him a little more. I'll send you some things to keep him occupied. If you have ideas that you can give us to help him throughout the day. And that's how we work. I mean, it would be 7 o'clock in the evening, and I would get a video on email just showing me how I can help. Hi, Tinky, how are you, honey? It would just show me how I could help with my son and how I could keep him, if he needed to get his energy out or feel better. There was educational videos, exercise videos, just fun videos for children that I could give him to work on. So we went through that, and it didn't work. And finally, the teacher said, okay, I think it's time. And I said, okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. Went and got him evaluated. Results came back ADHD. And remember, during this time, COVID is just getting over. So it was so hard for me to get any psychiatrist, any child therapist, anything for my son. Nobody was taking anybody. Lists were backed up. It was horrible. And so we went through the summer. Kindergarten came. His pre-K teacher let his kindergarten teacher know, what they were getting, what they were dealing with. I let them know who they were getting, what they were dealing with, and so on and so on. But here's where the school board comes in. I was advocating, and I wasn't getting answers. And this time was very stressful for me, because at this time I was my father was in the process of transitioning. So again, this is why we should tell what's going on in our house, because I didn't know that was affecting my son until one morning I was driving him to school, and he expressed that, that it was hurting him. And I didn't know what to do. As a mom, what do you say? What do you do? Because here you are trying to be strong for yourself, because your father is transitioning, but you have a 5-year-old that you don't know if they'll really understand or not. But when he told me that morning, I went to school and I expressed to the counselors, this is what's going on. And it's probably going to happen very soon. And my son he's feeling it, and he told me. Things were still going on. He was still getting sent to the office. I don't understand how we can kick kindergartners out of class every day and send them to the office. I don't understand how teachers are not seeing what's going on, are not saying, okay, well, this child needs help or whatever. So anyway, it was hard to kind of deal with that and process my father transitioning. So I wound up requesting, nobody told me to request an IEP meeting. Nobody told me anything. I wound up getting that information from my sister. Requested an IEP meeting in January. I didn't get the IEP meeting till May. So this is May now, and mind you, my son's been in and out of the office his whole kindergarten year. May is now the end of the year, so now he's getting his IEP when it's now time for summer. So now they place him in the summer school class that I didn't think was fitting. Some of his teachers from the previous year, they even said that's not the right class. Get him out. Advocated. Of course, they threw him where they wanted to throw him, and it wasn't. When you know what's right. And I'm not one of those parents to say, hey, that's not my son. My child could never do that. No, you're lying. I'm not one of those parents. I'm one of those parents where, hey, I know that's what happened because this is my son. I see him every day. But okay, what can we do to fix this issue? That's the parent that I am. So I had to fight. I had to fight. I didn't have any advocates. The advocate that the district provided for me, I want to be very mindful when I say this because I know there's a lot of controversy going on with the district right now, and I don't want to add to the naysayers and the negative comments. So I want to be very careful when I say this. The advocate that the district provided me with, she was not a horrible advocate. She was actually a very good advocate. But I feel, this is my opinion, I feel because she stretched so wide that my son wasn't able to get the attention that he needed. And so it wasn't working for me. So it wasn't that she didn't know what she was doing. I just felt that my son, he needed more from the advocate and it wasn't being provided. And I feel like that's because everyone is available to that advocate. However, again, that's why I said I want to be very careful because myself and and that old advocate, we do know each other and we still, conversate. We still they wish justice the best and everything. So what I wind up doing is I wind up getting information from someone, and they told me to hire an advocate, and the advocate that they gave me, I didn't. My finances at that time, I was a single mother. I'm still a single mother. I was out of work. I was on disability. I didn't feel that I had, the finances to hire an advocate. But after going through everything with the district, leaving IEP meetings, crying, just enter into a depressive state myself because of what was going on. I said, I gotta try something else. So I hired this advocate. This advocate, oh my goodness, when I can tell you that I was able, it's like it was a sigh of relief because I was able to get things done and get things moving with my son. Also, just showing up at school board meetings every day, speaking my mind, letting them know, my child is not going to be played with. You're not going to place them in this system, which they tend to do to Black, brown, low income whites, the marginalized community, when there is an issue, whether it's physical disability, whether it's mental disability, whether it's behavior, those kids tend to get thrown under the rug. That's what we see. That's just the facts. That's what it is. And I was determined that my Black son was not going to be another Black or brown child that was just thrown into whatever class they wanted to, and that was it. So I started attending school board meetings, showing up, showing up, showing up. I still didn't know that you could run for school board. I still didn't know that until after showing up at the meetings and getting involved in local community groups. Someone expressed to me, hey, you should run for the board. And I'm like, you can do that? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, but what do you need? And they're like, you don't need anything. You just have to be a community member that lives within the district. You can run for the board. So I said, okay, I'm going to run. So I ran. I didn't get, I did good for being someone that nobody knew of. And I didn't win, but I said, that's all right. It's, when it's my time, God will put me up there. I let everybody know I did a live. I'm still going to go down. I'm still advocating for people's children. I'm still going to do. Yes. Yes. I'm so happy, Tinky. And watch how the ball gets rolling, Tinky, because when you hire an advocate, the district's not playing because these advocates know what to do. And I'm sorry. And it's not just Newburgh District. It's not, I'm not just pointing out them. That just happened to be the district that I'm dealing with. And this is what this happened to be my experience at the time with the district. I can say that my experience with the district now is on a whole nother level. It's not like it was before. It's gotten extremely better. So thank God for that. But that again, that took legwork, that took footwork, that took hiring an advocate, going to meetings, advocating. I advocated so much for myself, and people would start to see me so much going down to the board meetings, advocating, posting on Facebook. Now people are writing me in messages wanting to find out about maybe different issues that are going on. And some issues I can't speak on because I'm not privy to, because I'm not on the Board of Education. And I won't speak about what I don't know. But if if they feel like school is going to be canceled this day, they're asking me, people are messaging me, asking me before I even wake up in the morning. So I'm waking up with messages, is school canceled today? Is this canceled? I'm like, listen, I don't even know. I have to make sure if I have to go to work, if my school is canceled. So, or if something is going on with their child in school, they're messaging me, hey, how can I get this done? What do I do about this? My child needs this. I've written letters. I feel like I'm not being heard. So I've advocated so much for my son that people are now starting to see, and they're like, hey, okay, well, maybe I can talk to her. And I feel like they feel that way because um on their level. Not to say that anybody's better than anybody, but because they know me on a more personable level, I guess maybe through Facebook, or maybe a lot of them I went to school with, a lot of them my son goes to school with. So just knowing that, okay, this is a regular everyday person. This is a mom that I see every day. She's involved in her kid's life. I know she deals with the same things that I deal with as a single mom, but knowing that she's able to stand up and voice her opinion, and she has information to different things, I guess it makes them feel comfortable. And I'm honored for that. And anything that anyone needs, I tell them, if I can get the information for you, I will. Being involved is as much as important in the community, and supporting each other is what will create change. Yes, I agree. And I feel like some people, they don't feel like it will change because of the way it's been for years. I just recently spoke with someone put up a comment on Facebook concerning like housing, and the housing crisis that we're going through now. And that's something that I spoke up on at city council meetings about many different times. I went down and spoke. And my speech was always that a lot of students in your district are suffering from homelessness. And at the time they didn't know. I didn't reveal it until maybe 2 months ago that I was one of those people. But thank God that I had somewhere safe to go, because my parents, they had their house. I was able to go and be with them. I didn't have to go to a shelter or a hotel. I was able to go with and stay with my mother. And that was comfortable for me and my son. But everybody didn't have that. There were people that there's still people that are in hotels, that are in shelters, that are living with other people. There's 3 and 4 families in a one family home. Our scholars in the district are going through it. So when there seems to be an issue in school, we always have to have that teacher parent connection, that community connection. We have to figure out what's going on, and we have to show up as parents. We have to show up to these city council meetings and so on and so on, and voice what's going on, because if you don't have knowledge, you won't be heard. You won't be heard. So sad. Yes, that is true, Tinky. Um, you do need to have the knowledge, and that's why I'm very adamant with sharing anything that I find out, anything that I can do to help. I'm just very adamant with sharing that and encouraging people and uplifting people. And if you decide to use the information that I give, then I'm sorry, my sister's messaging me, trying to see if I'm still on. And any information that I can give, I'm very adamant about doing so, because I just want everybody to know that they can voice their opinion, and by voicing their opinion, they can make a change. And just to be as involved in your kid's life as much as you possibly can. So I tend to go all over the place depending on the questions that get shot through on live. So forgive me if I jumble all over the place. But back to the school board elections, that's what encouraged me to run, dealing with the battle with my son. And again, I didn't win last year, but it didn't discourage me, because when I believe that when it's my time, I will be up there. But I'm still going to advocate. I'm still going to go to school board meetings. I'm still going to speak up. I'm still going to challenge these policies that are being put through sometimes, that I do not feel will be as a benefit to all of our students. We could say go backs all day every day, but if these policies don't fit all of our students, and sometimes these policies do not fit the marginalized community, that's something that I have to speak up on, because again, the marginalized community tends to get swept under the rug. Everybody doesn't have a two-parent home. Everybody doesn't have a place to sleep. Everybody's parents are not able to be home at 5 o'clock to help them with their homework. um, Everybody's parents don't have a car. Unfortunately, we have some scholars that are working too, along with their mother or their father or their parents, because the economy is so hard. We can't live off of just one income. We can barely live off of two. So sometimes we have teenagers that are working long hours, just to make ends meet for their family. Sometimes we have kids that can't attend school because they're working. And, if you school as opposed to surviving, surviving is going to, you know, um, take the hierarchy above school because you have to survive, you have to eat, you have to live. And that's why I chose to run again this year. School board elections is coming up. They are up right now. Signatures right now. You have candidates going out to collect signatures to get on the ballot, and then after the names are placed on the ballot, that's how you will know who the quote official candidates are, and that's when you'll start seeing people campaigning. You'll start seeing the yard signs and so on and so on. But voting is May 21st, 2024. Please get out and vote. I put my flyer up on Facebook. I've shared it. If I see anyone, I'll give them a palm card. But even if you go onto Facebook, if you download the flyer and if you scan the QR code, it'll let you know where to vote in your depending on what ward you're in. So if you're closer to downtown Newburgh, you will vote at Horizons on the Hudson. If you're closer up by NFA, there's a Jewish center that you'll vote at. If you're out in the town, I say maybe by Bombville. If I'm not mistaken, you're voting at Fostertown. And if you're, I know if you lived over by South Junior High, I think South Junior High used to be the voting site, the voting poll site. I think they changed it, and I think it's now the Heritage Community Center, which is across the street from the Newburgh Free Library. It's on Grand Street. But again, if you scan the code on my flyer, you'll get all the voting poll sites depending on what ward you live in. And if you can't figure it out that way, don't be afraid to hit me up. Listen, Sade, I'm trying to go vote. I don't know where to vote at, and I will find that out for you ASAP. And we need the community to get out there and vote. We need everyone to get out there and vote. We don't need people just voting for who they like. We need people to really, talk to these candidates, find out what these candidates are about. What are they offering to the table? What are they offering to fight for? I know I'm fighting for special education, for accessory to special education services, because that's one thing that I dealt with. No, I can't hear you. New Windsor will vote at Temple Hill. New Windsor will vote at Temple Hill School or New Windsor School, depending on where you live at. There's New Windsor School, Temple Hill School, and Bells Gate School for New Windsor. Last year, I lived in New Windsor by Temple Hill School, so I voted at Temple Hill School. Oh, you are so welcome, Tinky. You are so welcome. And I'm glad everything is looking up and your child is gonna get everything that they need, that they deserve. And just keep advocating, Tinky. Don't give up. It's gonna get discouraging, but just don't give up. You're probably gonna walk out some meetings crying like I did. Still, don't give up. Cry, let it out, say your prayers, meditate, do whatever you need to do to get yourself back together and continue going out there advocating for your child. Because if we don't advocate for our kids, who will? And what else was I meaning to say? Oh, you want to really find out about these candidates and find out what they're offering to bring to the table or to fight for when they're sitting on that board. Because as a board member, you don't have the executive decision on any policy, they're all voted on. So the things that I'm advocating for is access to special education services, because that's one thing that I did not get when I was fighting for my son. Nobody told me, nobody from the district, nobody from the school told me anything that I should fill out for, that I should apply for him. All of those things came from my sister or from other community members that I talked to for the same thing. Also for state funded educational advocates. If a lot of people feel like if they don't have money, they're not going to have an advocate. They don't know. Some people don't know that there's a free, there's an advocate for the district. Some people don't know that they can call advocates, and depending on what advocate you call, some advocates may have grants out, that can fix your financial situation. But you need to, if you don't know, how would you know to call? If you don't have access, if you're not privy to that information, how would you know to call? So that's one of the things that I'm fighting for. Another thing that I'm fighting for is safety across the district for students and for district employees. There was just a big thing that just happened a week ago at a certain school, and there was questions coming in about that. And how do we keep our students safe? How do we keep our employees safe? What do we do in that situation? What can we do? Can we get? I don't want to say too much. I don't really want to say too much to be negative, but something got to change. We can't have, we can't have students getting hurt like this, and we can't have it to where we have people in the building that are not, I guess, maybe not allowing it. I don't want to say they allow, but how did the situation happen? If there's teachers, security, everything else, how did something like this happen? We don't know. So that's something that I'm fighting for: safety within the district for staff and for children, because just like people want to send their kids to school and they want them to be protected and safe, and they're trusting the school to send their kids back home untouched, unharmed, and safe, there's families at home that are waiting for their parents to come home unharmed and untouched and unsafe. You're right, Tinky. It does start at home. And that's where the teacher and family connection comes into play, because we need to find out is there anything going on in a home that we can help with? Is it did what's going on in a home? Is there anything that the teachers can help with? Do the parents feel free enough? We should be making parents feel comfortable and free enough to speak. Hey, listen, this is going on, and this is why he's behaving this way or she's behaving this way. We are our children's first educators. And I think that if we open that gap that's within the teacher and the community connection, I think a lot of things will change with our scholars. I'm going for decrease in layoffs. I know this year we lost multiple social workers. My son had a great social worker last year, and she's not at that school anymore. But why are we laying social workers off if we have such a high, if we have so many scholars with IEPs and either mental or physical disabilities period? Why do we not have social workers on board? To me, that's the problem. Because how can we tend to the need of an IEP if we don't have social workers to do that? So we need social workers back. So what's going on with this budget? Do we not have enough money to hire social workers? Do we not have enough money to hire staff for the mental health that's going on within the district? What's the problem? This is again, these are only my thoughts, and this is only my opinion, and my thoughts and my questions. But I'm pretty sure everyone else has thoughts and questions. But they'll never know if we don't go down to the board meetings and speak those things, because they're not looking at Facebook like we are. They're not scrolling through. And 9 times out of 10, if anybody up there is like me, I don't even read through the negative comments on Facebook. If somebody is commenting or coming at me negatively, I automatically block them, because I don't have time for any negativity in my life. All I have time for is acknowledging what went wrong and trying my best to fix that. Hi, Kay, how you doing? So that's the importance of getting down to these school board meetings, speaking our truth, letting them know what's going on in the community, letting them know as parents that we feel this way, and we feel like this should change. Because if we don't speak and if we don't advocate for our kids, who will? But we can't just advocate on social media all day. We need to be at these school board meetings. We need to be at these city council meetings. We need to be at every meeting that is going to affect us locally. And there was something else I said. Yes, I just wanted to shed light again on the school board elections. School board elections is May 21st. Get out there and vote, 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 vote. Again, don't vote for just, oh, I know her, so I'm going to vote for her. No, but if you can know her, but do you know what she's doing? What is she doing? What do you feel like she can bring to the table? There aren't so, no, there aren't a lot of social workers. There's not a lot of social workers, Tinky. And again, to me, that's a problem, because we have a million kids with IEPs and we don't got no social workers. Thank God my son has a very good social worker. His school year is going so much better than it was last year. But again, that took a lot of footwork, a lot of advocating, a lot of letting them know, y'all not just going to do this to my child. Y'all not just going to throw him wherever y'all want. This is where I feel he needs to go. And, as I did that, things started looking better. He's having, compared to last year, he's having a phenomenal year, and I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of being able to, voice my opinion, and having the district finally listen to me and work with me. And thank God that I got an advocate. The advocate that I have is amazing, and I'm grateful that I was connected with her. But again, everybody does not have that. So talking, I think me sharing my testimony and sharing my experience encourages people, and it also gets the information out there. It seems like the caseload is falling on the teachers. Yes, okay, that's what I read before. And it is. It is. Teachers have a lot on their plate. They have a whole lot on their plate, because if there's no social workers, who do the teachers send the kids to when there is who do the teachers send the kids to when they're having a crisis? So if there's no social worker now, it's left up to the teacher to be able to de-escalate, figure out ways to de-escalate and bring that kid back down to base level so the kid can function throughout the day, and also not do it in such a way that it brings so much attention to the child, and then it takes the attention off of the daily lessons in school. We have to figure out a way to do that, but that's a lot of pressure. Um, that's a lot of pressures for the teacher, and it's not fair. The teachers are there to teach. If they wanted to be social workers, they would have got a degree in social work, but they got a degree in teaching. So they need to be able to teach. But thank God that we have some teachers. We have a lot of teachers out there that are that take that extra step to go above and beyond their job, their job titles. And if anyone has any questions, you guys can chime in, ask any questions, and hey, Miss Stephanie, how are you doing? I'm very nervous, guys. I'm not good with public speaking, even though I'm always at a meeting advocating and speaking my truth. I'm not good. I can write something down and I'll still jumble. I say a lot. I say like a lot. So please forgive me, but this is transparency is what I do, and I like just being authentic and honest and truthful. So sometimes when you want to be, it has to come off the top of your head so your audience um, can relate to you. If anyone has questions, you guys can chime in because I'll get to talking and I'll keep talking, even though I don't like public speaking. Once I get to going, I get to going. If anyone is just chiming in, we Juanita has me on here to talk about the school board elections that are coming up on May 21st. Get out there and vote, 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 vote. I am running. Um, I'm not sure of the other candidates that are running. I'm not sure of who they are, but get out there and see who's running for board. No, excuse me. I do know a few of the other candidates that are running, but I don't know all of them. So get out there, look at the candidates, see who you want to vote, see who you want to vote for, see who you want to sign, whose petitions you want to sign. You do not have to sign one petition. That is what I want to tell you. Just because somebody is running separate, and what I mean by running separate is that if we're not on a ballot, if we're not on a ballot, if we're not on like a ticket, if there's not, some people run together, it'll be three people together, and then some people just choose to run. Thank you so much. Some people run together, like with three on a ballot, three on a ticket, or some people run separate. I'm running separate. It doesn't mean you don't support you don't support whoever else is running. That just means you choose to run separate. But when you sign, when those school board candidates are coming around with their petitions, you're not limited to only sign one petition. You can sign more than one petition. When you vote, you're not limited to only voting for one candidate. You can vote for four candidates on the school board election. So you don't have to sign just one petition. You could sign whoever petition you like, and you can also vote for four people once you go down on May 21st. Again, if you don't know where your polling sites are, you can scan the QR code on my flyer, and depending on whether you're in Ward 1, 2, 3, or 4, it'll let you know where your polling sites are. If you're downtown to Newburgh, I would say Lander and down, your polling site will be Horizons on the Hudson. If you're across town by South Junior High, from my understanding, it used to be South Junior High, but I think they changed that to the Heritage Center, which is across the street from the library. I think it's 124 Green Street. If you are up by NFA, your voting site will be the Jewish Community Center up there. If you are out in the town of Newburgh, um, by Fostertown, your polling site will be Fostertown School. And if you are in New Windsor, your polling site will be either Velsgate, New Windsor School, or Temple Hill School. Yeah, Velsgate, New Windsor, and Temple Hill School, depending on where you live at in New Windsor. Again, you don't have to only sign one petition. You can sign whichever petition you like, and when you go down, you can vote for four people for the school board election. So that's pretty much everything that I have to say. If you are having a child and you feel like there's something not going on or there's something that's not right, please go seek help. I know that it took me a while to seek help. I knew something was wrong, and when I found out something, when I took the step to go get help, it was like, okay, well, what do I do? Because we know there's either you can do holistically, you can try, you can try not doing medication, or you can do medication. Whichever one you want to do, that's your decision. Don't let anybody talk to you and tell you, oh, well, you're wrong for choosing this, you're wrong for choosing that way. You do what you want to do for your child and what you feel is best for your child. I know my culture, we tend to think, oh, there's nothing wrong with them. There's no ADHD. We I won't even say my culture. I would just say the world. Quote, the world tends to think that ADHD, they label it as the kid just being misbehaved. And then, okay, so you must not be chastising a kid. You must not be disciplining a kid. And, I had to tell people, no, I am. And I don't know what else to do to chastise or discipline. And I don't want to, I don't want it to come to a point where I'm so frustrated, with my child. Like, what can I do? I need help. But it took me saying that. But sometimes it would be hard because, again, I come from a community where what goes on in my house stay in my house. So God forbid you cry out for help, and then you're looking at the different judgments or whatever have you. But it took me a long time to get over that because I had to realize that my son is my first priority. I can get what happens if nobody's here for my son, or what happened if my son is not here. My son is my first priority, and he's the world to me. So I was through with the stereotypical sayings about ADHD and how certain communities and certain culture handles it. I didn't care. I wanted to get help from my son, and then when I got help from my son, I scheduled me some therapy too, because now I need to learn how to deal with having an ADHD, because um everybody doesn't, they don't know. They just think, oh, my son has a problem. Okay, that's it. Fine, whatever. But I think as a parent, we have to learn how to deal with our child and whatever disability they may have, because we can't deal with our child like we would be dealing with somebody that didn't have ADHD or didn't have autism or didn't have Asperger's or didn't have Down syndrome or whatever. We can't deal with them like that because it's not going to work. So we have to look at the disability, and then we have to see how we can better parent um, around that disability. And I think that's what helped me a lot too, because as I started seeking therapy and started getting things going for my son, it just made things so much easier. I'm understanding him more. I'm understanding, the emotions more, and I'm understanding how I can deal with those emotions, how I can better parent. It's just once you get your children the help that they need, and once you start looking at things in a total different light, and not what's the traditional way of thinking or the cultural way of thinking. Once you realize that mental health is a real issue, mental health is not nothing fake, and it's not nothing to be played with. Once you realize that it's a serious issue, you'll look at it much differently, and you'll understand yourself and your children more differently. So, with that being said, please, please, please advocate for your children, fight for your children. Don't give up, even when it seems like you're hitting a brick wall. Do not give up. Cry if you need to, scream if you need to, sit down and take a breather if you need to, go for a ride if you need to. But whatever you do, get yourself together, bring yourself back to, and continue to fight for your child. My son is now 8 years old. I started knowing that something was really wrong around 4/5, but he didn't start pre-K until he's 5, because he's a late baby. His birthday isn't till March. So he couldn't start school until he was 5. So he didn't start pre-K until he was 5 years old, but he's 8 years old now. He's doing so good. He's doing so great. He even notices the changes in himself. He'll say, oh my gosh, the boy uses therapy on me. He takes his therapy so good, and he takes it in and he uses it for himself. He uses it on me. One day I was driving in the car, and road rage popped in. The people were just driving so it was really getting on my nerves, and I was in a rush. But anyway, he's in the back of the car, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, why are these cars driving? So I'm just having my little road rage moment. Everybody has those. And he goes, Mom, he was like, it's okay, Mom. gonna be okay. Just count to 10, mom. Just count to 10. And I said, okay. So, I'm in the driver's seat and I'm laughing because I'm like, is this boy doing therapy on me? But I counted to 10 and I calmed myself down. But it was just amazing to see how he's really gravitating towards just working through his issues and his social skills and learning how to calm himself down. That the boy is starting to use the therapy on me, so that was pretty cool. So he's doing, to answer that question, he's doing amazing. I'm very grateful to God for him, and I just can't wait to see the awesome things that he's gonna do. And that is all that I have for tonight. Again, school board elections, May 21st. Get out, vote, vote, vote. You'll start seeing candidates walking around with their petitions. You're not limited to sign one petition. You can sign however many petitions you want. When you go down to vote, you can vote for 4 candidates. So yes, May 21st, 2024, go out and vote for your school board election. It's the most important election. We need to be mindful of who we put over our children. Who we put over to make these policies for our scholars that'll be attending the district. We need to know these things. And thank you guys. And you guys all have a great night.